All right, let's move on to the next game on the board. 3:10 Eastern on True TV. This is when we really get cooking during the day. There's going to be multiple games going on here, and the next slate is tipping off. Hopefully have some crazy finishes in the early slate. But Illinois Morehead will tip off at 3:10 Eastern on True TV in Omaha, Nebraska. Illinois is an 11.5 point favorite here. Total 148.5. I love Morehead State here. It's one of my favorite bets of the first round. Now, I will say you might start to see this if you're on Twitter. Oh, everyone loves Morehead. They're doomed. So yes, Morehead's become pretty trendy, but I'll keep a couple things in mind. Twitter is a big echo chamber. A couple people like a pick early, and then everyone kind of jumps on and just says those same reasons. And don't forget, Twitter is a minuscule. Who you see on Twitter is a minuscule percentage of the betting population in the world. And those trendy picks, I remember as soon as the draw came out, I started banging a drum for Ohio over Virginia, and the entire world was on it.
Me and you were on the live show, and I
Yep.
remember the same thought. It was like, oh no, this is the trendy pick. Everyone in the universe is on them.
And guess what? They won. So don't get scared off of a bet just because you think it's a trendy pick. If you like the team, bet the team. If you don't. But I really like Morehead State here. This is now the one thing that gives me pause. I mean, Terrence Shannon could go off here, could go off against anyone. You hope that he doesn't get a beneficial whistle or as beneficial of a whistle as he sometimes gets in the Big Ten, because Morehead State can't get into foul trouble here. They don't have a lot of depth. That is a big concern for me. And Illinois obviously has more talent, but Morehead State profiles as the exact team that can pull off an upset as a lower seed against a better opponent on paper. They play super slow. They're very well coached. They're experienced. They have, a trio of guards that they're not overly reliant on any one of them. Belwell, you have Jordan Lathan. Any of them can get hot from deep. And then you have Riley Minix, who's just, if you haven't watched him play, he's a treat. 6'7", uber versatile player. Previously National Player of the Year at the JUCO level. This year he was the OVC Player of the Year. He can score anywhere on the court, down low from three. Impeccable footwork. He's just a really tough guard for opposing defenses. And then you have a Xavier transfer in Deontay Miles in the middle, manning their deep drop defense. This is a battle of two deep drop defenses. So if you look at their statistical profile, they're pretty similar. The couple of the things that stick out to me is not only is Morehead State play super slow, which is very beneficial for an underdog, but they can, keep Illinois out of transition. They're also an excellent rebounding team. That's super important against Illinois. And their biggest issue, Morehead's biggest issue by far, besides a lack of depth, so you got to stay out of foul trouble here, is their turnovers. And they are turnover prone, but that is not a problem against Illinois, who just, the Illini just don't pressure the ball. Third lowest turnover rate in the country on defense. So that should help out Morehead State as well. Morehead State also much more rested, and they have a really good coach. I feel like he's going to have some added wrinkles. This is a team that's going to have a week and a half to prepare for this game. Meanwhile, Illinois just coming off of a deep run at the Big Ten tournament. And, over the past couple of years, those teams have not had success in the first weekend, the Big Ten champs of the tournament. So, yeah, Illinois' offense is awesome. I mean, they are Damask, and especially Terrence Shannon can go for 40 on any given night. But the defense has holes at their rim. They missed assignments, and this Morehead State team can take advantage. So, and look, I said Morehead State fits the bill of a team lower seed that can pull off an upset. And you have Illinois, who fits the mold for a higher seed that usually gets bounced early. Top 10 offense, defense, around 90th in overall adjusted efficiency. That usually doesn't play. So I think Morehead State can shorten this game, slow it up, and they're going to have a shot with their talent. I like the Eagles out of the OVC. Randall, you agree?
As soon as I saw it, I liked it, and I really liked. I put your tweet out on X. Love the comparison to Keegan Murray in Iowa. Everything is Terrence Shannon and Dumbask. Yes, Coleman Hawkins does some things as well, but they rely on Shannon, and he was on fire in that second half against Wisconsin to get home for the Big Ten tournament title. I have always faded teams that don't play defense in the tournament because the game slows down. Morehead's really going to slow you down. And the big difference for me is Morehead has size. Normally, the teams, with the exception of Purdue last year with Zach Edey, that have size inside rarely get upset the big teams in the first round. How many times see North Carolina lose in the first round with Tyler Hansborough and Zeller and those guys? But Morehead State has the size. They're top 50 in average height. And the one area you mentioned it, you look at their profile and look at them within the Ohio Valley. The one area they struggle is offensive turnovers, and Illinois does not force them. They're great at effective field goal percentage. They're great effective field goal percentage defense. They're great on the boards. They box out one and done. Great on 2-point offense, great on 2-point defense. And yes, the variance is what we want. We want a team, which is why, total ancillary point, I don't like Yale against Auburn, because that's not your type of team in the Ivy like Princeton last year, which had the big in the middle and they shot threes. Morehead State does. 44.6% of their shots in the Ohio Valley came from beyond the arc. They embrace the three. They shoot it. They have plenty of players. They play defense. They slow the pace down. Illinois doesn't play defense. All we need is to have Terrence Shannon come back to earth a little bit and not go for 30 points. And I think we have a shot here. So I was on it as well as soon as Morehead came out. I love this draw for the Eagles.
Calabrese, your consensus here. You like Morehead as well?
Oh, I do. I love Riley Minix, and a point you brought up basically since the calendar flipped to March, when you are a mid-major, can your top player be taken away from you? And we have comps here. He gave 19 to Alabama on 8 for 15 shooting from the field, scored 18 against Purdue, double-double in a near upset of Indiana. Because when you watch him play, he's so versatile, but they also use him in the pick and roll game. So you can't double him in a pick and roll situation. And then when he gets the ball one-on-one, he can either shoot over people or put it on the deck and gets to the hoop. He has so many weapons so many, tricks in his bag that I think he's going to be able to score. He's probably going to need to score in the mid-20s for this to be an upset, but certainly plus the points. I think this is an opportunity to take advantage of an Illinois defense that's a bit matador in the lane. As soon as you get in there, you get a bucket. So I think the Eagles are rightfully so a trendy pick to hang around for 40 minutes.